Hi, I'm Jim Gary and welcome to Batilipi's Workshop. If you saw last week's video, you know that my motorhome engine broke a connecting rod and thus needs to be replaced. And it was particularly disheartening because this happened just as I was starting it up for its first test drive after I spent a year redoing the brakes and the suspension. So the new engine for my 26-year-old Workhorse motorhome arrived a couple of days ago, and it was delivered by a box truck with a lift gate. I had them place the motor in my pickup truck bed so I could get it into my shop. So this video simply shows the details of how I ordered the engine, how I got the new motor out of the truck bed, and how I unwrapped it and took a look at what came with it. Please be aware that I'm a biologist, not a mechanic, and I'm showing you what I did, not what I think you should do. So please consult a professional mechanic before taking on any work like this. As always, I welcome any comments or suggestions you may have, and if you found this interesting, there are links to my other videos in the description below. So please like and subscribe. Now let's get on with the video. Once I realized my original engine was toast, I searched over the web to find a new engine that was listed as fitting my year 2000 Workhorse motorhome chassis. You know, the engine's a 454 cubic inch Vortec motor, and it's possible that pretty much any GM 454 Vortec engine would fit, but I wanted to be sure the engine I bought was listed as an exact replacement for my motorhome. And I contacted 3 different vendors and settled on the Vancouver Machine Company, and it's located in Portland, Oregon. And I had to pay $600 for the core, but it would cost $600 to send the core back, so I'll just recycle that locally. So the total cost was about $4,200, as you can see on that invoice. And it's a long block remanufactured engine, which means it has the block heads, new timing stuff, camshaft, pistons, rods, bearings, and all that. And it also comes with all the seals and gaskets that I need. And I'll have to transfer the valve covers, oil pan, intake manifold, the distributor, injectors, and all that from the old engine to the new. But the good thing was this company provides a 70,000 mile or 7-year, whichever comes first, warranty, which is the best I've seen actually. So for the warranty work, they'll either pay a local shop I pick or they'll work with me directly. And I communicated with a fellow at VMC named Greg, and he stayed with me through the whole process. And I ordered the engine in mid-January, but my wife and I were out of the country from February 3rd through the 21st, so I asked them to ship it so it would arrive the last week of February. And after a few false starts, they shipped it on February 4th, and it arrived February 11th here in Florida. And I thought that was pretty good. Well, I think I might have something new outside this garage door. There's a pickup truck with something on it. I wonder what that could be. It's on a pallet. Oh, it's a motor. It looks like a motor from my RV. Well, back the truck into the shop, and then I can pick up the crate or the pallet up with my lift. So I'll just string a strap down here around the crate and back up. I've done it before. Not a big deal. And then I can lower it down. And I'm probably going to set it down on this lift cart here. The motor weighs 500 pounds or so, and this should hold it, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and back the truck in and get it underneath here and get it started. So I'm looking at it. It looks like there's no valve covers on it. It's a long block, so it doesn't have to have everything. One of the reasons I've been waiting to get this before I took out the old engine was just to be sure I knew exactly what I had, how far I had to strip down the motor. Here's the crank, and it looks like they've got a strap, a metal strap here, under here, and here, going around. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do, is strap it that way. But I'll come back after I get the strap rigged up. Even though the lift looks really high, it actually can't go as high as you'd think because there's stops up about there. So I have to get this tied down as close as I can to the motor to be able to lift it up. So let's try that and see. There's some slack here, but I think that'll just come through. Looks pretty stable. Holds up about a foot. This feels pretty good. I don't think it's about to flip or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and drive the truck out from underneath it, and then we'll lower it onto that table. Okay, I've got it down pretty low. I cut off the parts of the pallet that I didn't need But then I checked the capacity of my lift cart, and that is maximum about 300 pounds, and this weighs 550. So I'm just going to lower it to the floor and get it unwrapped and see what we got. There it goes. Okay, so the straps are slack, so I'll go ahead and get the straps off. So there's the box. Let's see what's in it. Now, I haven't delved into the guts of an American engine in a long time, but let's see what we got here. Okay. It's oil seal. This looks like the oil pan gasket, and there's other gaskets there, more oil seals and such. So I'll put that to the side. And that's all that's in there, and there's a little box here that's kind of heavy. Really interesting here is, even though it's made in China, this says domestic and Japanese, DNJ, whatever that means. But the parts are not made in Japan, because it says made in China. That's just marketing, I guess. This might be the oil pump. Yeah, I think that's the oil pump. Yep, made in the USA. Okay, so at least the oil pump isn't made in China. So I've got the outer wrapping on. This is just the bag around the engine. I got these metal pieces to cut. So let's pull this bag off and see what we got here. Now supposedly everything's set the way it's supposed to be. So here's the valves, all the valve train here. It all looks good. It's supposed to have new camshafts in it as well. And here's the other side. It all looks good, clean, looks new. And here's the timing chain and the crank for to attach it to the fan and all that stuff. So that's all looking pretty good. And they put paint tape over the intake manifold. So there's the intake manifolds. Let's just peek inside them. Yeah, they look pretty good to me. Clean, everything's been cleaned up really nicely. So this is definitely a rebuilt engine, not just a used engine. Camshaft down in there. It's right in there. And it's covered with all kinds of goopy stuff. So that's good. And here's the back of the engine. So this will be where the flywheel goes on. And if we look underneath, we'll notice that there's definitely not a oil pan on there. It's just straight up bottom of the engine. So I can't really look at that yet, the way it's laid out. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get this up onto a working surface or onto an engine stand. It might be cheaper just to get an engine stand. I have one, but it's got an engine on it, the one for the Jaguar. So there we are. I think that's pretty exciting. So the engine bay is under a doghouse between the two front seats, and the manual says the engine needs to be removed through the inside of the motorhome, as there is not a path out the front or below. And I've seen a video of someone yanking an engine out the front of an abandoned motorhome and not caring about the damage they did to the motorhome. I also found one where there was a driver's side exterior door, and they were able to get the forks of a forklift through that door and lift the engine out that way. In my case, there's a single entry door on the right side, and it's behind the front passenger seat, and I haven't come across any videos where someone has managed that. So I'll need to lift the 550-pound engine up out of the doghouse, move it back about 5 feet, and then somehow get it out that right side entry door. And I have a plan on how to do this, and you'll see it in future series of videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Similar videos of mine are linked in the description below. Bye.